Okay.
Cool. All right. So with eyeshadow, there's obviously lots of techniques to use. The one that works best for me is you go on with your color and you just kind of stamp around and make that shape that you want. So I'm going to go in with that light pink. And actually, I'm going to use this here so y'all can see. Oh, that pink is so happy. And you see, it's just little stamps.
And you're going on top of the muscle of the eye, or?
Yes. So again, so I have a bit of a hooded eye. So what I like doing is because I cover my brows, I go above that hood, and it really opens up your eye. And I know that everyone covers your brows, but if you do have hooded eyes and eyebrows, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you leave just a little bit of space between your eyebrow and your orbital bone. It gives the illusion that there's more space than there actually is versus having eyeshadow right up against your eyebrow. And just tap around and get that shape. And it's okay if it's not perfect at this point because we're going to blend all this out. But you want to at least attempt the shape that you're going for, or at least that you want. Because there are some times where I started off doing an eye one way and I was just like, nope, we're doing something completely different. Another thing get used to when you're doing your makeup, losing everything. And then turning around and being like, oh, it was there the whole time.
There.
Yep. So I did that with a rounder kind of pack brush, and with a little bit of a flatter brush, do the same thing but under the eye. She's what? Branded.
Okay.
All right. And usually when I'm doing the under eye, I don't go all the way in because when you blend it out, you can swipe it a little bit. Also, I like leaving the inner corner of the eye open and without color. It just makes it, for at least me, I have smaller eyes. It makes my eyes look bigger. All right. Then, taking just clean, fluffy brush. Whenever you blend, you want to go in circles. You don't want to go back and forth, never dragging. So, much like that, and you just go outwards and up. Just lightly. There are no harsh lines. Even though that's something you can go for, you know, again, everyone does make it differently. Just for me, I like things with softer edges. At least for the normal look. If you scroll on Instagram, I've done some interesting things where I look back and I was like, oh right, I did that face, okay. Alright. So you see how like you want that gradient where the outside is a little lighter and it goes darker as it goes inside. Now, we're going to go in with the second darker color. And that's just adding depth, you know? If you're taking all this time to do it and your eyes are this big, you want just depth. You don't want to just like slap it on. A lot of times, I actually got called this when I was younger in drag. When drag queens just use like one color and slap it on, there's just like, oh yeah, the garage doors.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to get called that to realize, oh wait, I could do this differently.
It's a learning.
Correct. And that's one thing I would like, if you're really passionate about makeup and you're trying to do stuff, it is a learning experience. You know, the more you do, the more you grow, the better you are, just like any other skill that you're trying to develop. So I'm going in with that slightly darker, like right in between purple and pink. And I'm not going right on top, I'm going just in here. Oh, that's such a pretty color. You go right in there to meld those two together.
was looking for eye makeup for a particular drag show I was in, I was lucky to find a package that actually told you step by step what to do for the eye makeup.
Oh, that's cool.
And it really helped. And I the first time I did it, I was like, okay, I doubt this is gonna look good, but we'll see. And people just said, oh no, you did everything right, you know, like.
Well, and sometimes you just need a little jumping off point, a little direction, a little just like, okay, this is where you would put that, that's where you put that. Because again, makeup is art, and art is subjective. But there is a theory when it comes to makeup, at least as far as, you know, oh, you do this first, and then you put on that, or that goes on top of that, you know? So, that's cool though. Do you remember what brand that was?
Oh, I wish.
Solely out of curiosity, I was just...
Yeah, if I could remember, I would tell you. But it was funny because, like, friends of mine who I've known since early childhood told me that they didn't recognize me when they saw me in makeup.
Oh, we love that.
I love that.
I mean, that's a compliment. When you're doing dry makeup and someone can't recognize you.
Yeah, and then and the only people who recognized me were people from like the was it the college LGBT group, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, I know who you are immediately. It's like, oh okay, wow.
Well, a lot of you, especially the voice, is a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I was doing a drag story hour in the city. I was in full drag, and long story short, it was the school that my little brother worked at, and I had completely forgotten. And I was walking in the hallways, and he sees me in drag, and I didn't think he was going to recognize me. He was like, you're not going to say hi to your brother? And I was like, oh, you know it was me? And he was like, I wouldn't have, but I recognize your voice.
Funny.
I had the opposite experience where like I've seen a drag performer only in drag, and then they approach me in not drag,
And I'm like,
who is this man?
excuse me,
Don't approach
sir.
me like that.
Sir.
Like, who is this man?
Yeah.
Why are you talking to me?
That happens specifically with Ivy Stalls. That happens.
Ivy looks very different out of
So
drag.
different.
Same height though, so it's
Same.
like, wait.
Yeah. Well, she came up to me and like tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around and I saw like basketball shorts and a t-shirt, and I was like, excuse me, who are you talking to? And then the voice came out, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yep, it's the voice usually
We're
does
safe
it.
now.
The voice usually
Yeah, I
does
get
it.
that.
With me, it was Ariel St. Clair.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Ariel looks nothing like she does when she's out
Nothing.
of
She's
drag.
got
It's
beady eyes. Would
hysterical.
never have guessed that.
It's hysterical. I love Ariel. All right. So, what is the term called when you put on a lid around your already done shadow? What do we call that?
It's a cut crease.
Cutting the crease. Yes. Has anyone here? I know you have. Have you ever attempted to cut the crease before?
Sounds like a
Yes.
fart, but no.
No,
I
that's
didn't know
cutting
that
the cheese.
existed.
That's different. Yes. So when you section out your your eyelid, or like you make, because a lot of times cutting the creases, you're adding more space for your eyelid for bigger color. We call that cutting the crease. So using my eyeshadow primer.
So you're using that twice? Or is
Yeah,
it-
well, so
okay.
this is all like eye stuff. So whether it's the priming of the eye or making sure that I have my crease correct, I use my eyeshadow primer.
Okay.
Here we go. And then, using a small, flat brush, you're basically going to draw on a new eyelid. And every time I do this, I feel like I'm Jessica Rabbit. She has those big eyelids.
Yeah.
Now this, you can take a little more time doing, especially if you're going for like a symmetrical kind of look. And you can take this as far up as you want, as small as you want. Everyone has different space and room.
Yeah, I can't tell you what the eye makeup was, but I can remember where I bought it because I worked at Dwayne Reed at the time. So I used my discount.
We love a good drugstore brand.
Oh yeah.
And like, not for nothing, like we love like products and stuff here at Sephora. But the drugstore brands have like really been killing it lately.
They had competition, didn't they?
I mean, well, that's the other thing with the explosion of like the makeup industry in general and like makeup artistry, as it were. You know, everyone should be able to access it. So
Yeah.
sometimes people have less budgets.
And I like a dupe. I love a dupe because it's
Yeah.
pocket friendly. So.
Yes.
It's kind of like Budweiser. Budweiser used to taste like crap until all the competitors came in. Now they taste less like crap.
I think it's also like the shades of makeup is better, at least with foundation. So that's
Mhm.
nice. That's nice too.
And that's another thing. If you're looking at a thing in the mirror, sometimes taking a look in a different mirror with a different angle will like show you things that you didn't see otherwise.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what it looks like with a cut crease, with nothing on it yet. However, we're not gonna stop there. Right? I'm like jamming over here. I'm just like, ah. So, my makeup addiction is glitter and shimmer and all of those things. So, for the lid, I'm going to use this Make It Count, this gorgeous, like, pink glittery shade. We're gonna see, because there's also a little technique with using shades like that. Yeah, we can use a lot. So, little tip, if you're using a shade with like glitter or shimmer in it, take your brush, you put a little setting spray on it. You let it dry, and it'll pick up that color a lot better.
That's
Yep.
actually a good
There
trick
we
because
go.
when I have palettes that don't lift right away, I just be like, you're going in the drawer.
And it's
These
funny
pretty
because
colors too.
glitter and shimmers, there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of them that aren't very good. So sometimes that transfer, that first one, especially on a new one, when you gotta get like in
gotta break
there,
the
you gotta,
seal.
yeah. So if you get a good one, the payoff is good. But that technique with the setting spray, I've had most often success with. Alright. So this is actually a good example of showing what a defining moment can do. So right now, especially that you're looking back, like imagine like I'm in a bar or on stage or whatever, kind of just looks like, okay, pink on pink, right? So what we do is to finish the crease, I like to go in and redefine. Now, that's taking my darkest color, and you're just going to go over and you're going to trace where that line and that eyeshadow meet. And just like that, you can see the difference between that, and you're just like, oh, there's your eyelid. And then I do a little on the bottom. We are gonna do mascara. And just a tad on the side. And you see how adding just a little bit of that darker color, not a ton, just makes it more defined. We're gonna do that to the other side real quick.
It's almost like contouring.
Almost like contouring your eye a little bit. Yes, I never thought of it that way, but yes, you're completely correct.
There's a guy out
Everything
there,
else.
shopping cart full of ice. I'm going to their party.
All right. So where am I? Where are my mascara users? My lash users? Yeah. Who here's scared of mascara?
I wear mascara sometimes, but I've never done like with a big lash.
Well, it's funny because when I do things like this, everyone's always like, how do you wear mascara and not poke your eye up? And there is a technique which I'm going to show you in a sec. Alright. So, first off, you know what these are, right?
Eyelash
That was bound to happen.
What?
Eyelash.
Curlers, yeah.
Curlers. So, does anyone, yeah, I'll tell you. So, does anyone here wear false lashes ever?
No, but I've worked that. It either works or it's a nightmare. A
It's,
painful nightmare.
It depends on how you apply it.
Yeah.
However, and I've known drag queens, so usually if you got a new pair of false lashes, you curl them and stuff like that. However, a lot of drag queens will put a lighter to this part and almost turn it into a curling iron.
Oh.
However, I've seen girls do that with their real lashes. Don't do that.
Don't do that with real lash.
It's great for fake lashes, but not real ones. So, just curl. I usually do a 7 count. You can see. There you go.
I always pinch my eyelid when I do that.
And again, just be nice. You have to pinch your eyelid, let go, and try again. 'Cause I
Yeah,
do-
and then that's when brands come in because I know that the Shiseido one is very popular because it doesn't pinch the eye.
Oh.
So it's easier, especially for the beginners. It's like boom,
That's good to know. What brand is that?
Shiseido.
Shiseido.
It's a really nice curler, and it is going viral, but it's worth the viralness.
It's one of those where
Yeah.
like,
Sometimes the viral things that they do. What's that?
Yeah, because
Um,
sometimes it's a hit or a miss, and I see people coming here and buy everything that's trending and then bring it back because it doesn't give what they thought it
Yeah.
would.
Right. Well, and also like a lot of times with products, sometimes you're using it incorrectly. You know, people are trying to copy these influencers they see on like on TikTok and YouTube, but you have to figure out like what works for your skin. Is your skin prepped the right way? Is it even the right like consistency for you? You know, that was have we all seen those the Il Maquillage like ads and stuff like that? And well, it's currently now the most like reviewed makeup foundation like ever. And depending on what your skin is or like what you're using it for, it could either be great for you or you're just like, oh, what's that? So again, everything is just because it works on somebody doesn't mean it's going to work for you, and vice versa. All right. And speaking of working, so this was one of my favorite mascaras. It's by Thrive Cosmetics. They're they're a smaller brand, but they have a brush like this. So like mascara brushes come in all shapes and sizes. So it's either have one that's a little like cone-like or one that has that little divot, because that's the whole point of you're supposed to put on, roll, and lift. It's a little bit of a coordinated effort, but start at the base, you roll and lift, roll and lift. And see? Does anyone remember that mascara that went viral was supposed to be like adding like inches to your lashes and stuff like that. All those little fibers.
I forgot the name of it. There's one that's going viral right now too. It's been
Yeah.
viral. I think it's from Maybelline.
Go Maybelline then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybelline's one of those brands that like they've been around for a really long time and a lot of their stuff is good. Just sometimes their stuff is a little too sheer for me. But
The falsies stuff is really good.
I have the Maybelline Falsies that fuchsia one, right?
Yes, specifically the facial one.
Yes, I've used that for a while actually.
I think what Maybelline has been trial and error, and since they've been in the game so much, they have adapted to what's really going on.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they can be like a miss, but like with their sharer products, like
Yeah.
But they came a long way because they've been in the game for a while.
Right, Wet n Wild's another one
Yeah.
that has
Yeah.
like done a lot of
I
like
love Wet n Wild.
improvement
Yes,
and
yes,
stuff
and
like
Elf.
that. Yeah, Elf is
And
another
Elf
one.
is
The
good.
Elf
I couldn't
skincare
believe it.
stuff
I
is
just
really
came from
good.
Atlanta, and my sister uses Elf, and I'm like, girl, what are you doing with this? Like, this is actually really good makeup. But I'm like, okay, so she has like the gripping primer. It's sort of like milk, and it really
Yeah.
worked. Like, I'm like,
they've
I can-
stepped up their game too.
I can do this.
Yeah.
So I cheat when it comes to eyebrows. I use a stencil because I can be there for hours all day. And I'm too OCD to try and do my eyebrows for myself. So I'm gonna
Do you
cheat
use
and
an
do
airbrush
this.
with that?
What?
Do you use an airbrush with that?
No, gosh, don't tempt me. Maybe one day. I've always said like there's only two reasons that I would like shave off my eyebrows, and it's like if I was like on like a multi-month tour or if I was on Drag Race. It's the only way my eyebrows are coming off. So we have to draw. However, if you are, I do recommend like especially like if you have eyebrows, it just helps it like shape. If you're someone that uses on your top of your eyebrows, sometimes it's just nice to put a little shape on there, and it helps especially with that arch or like the tip. But we're gonna do something.
Anu taught me how to do eyebrows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I have very light eyebrows, so I have to. But when I used to do dance, so I'd have to color them then.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah, light eyebrows are a pain in the butt
Yeah, they really.
to work with. I shaved mine off during the pandemic. I was like, I just want to try it, see how it goes. It was great.
I feel
Which
like
is funny because most people did not shave.
Right.
going
Well,
against
mine was
the
nothing
grain.
but the brows and the head. I was just like, I don't want to deal with any head hair.
Just no head hair, right? Yeah, Anu showed me the power of eyebrows.
Speaking of Anu, does anyone have her card?
Yes, it's right here.
Okay, good. All right, good.
So my eyebrows actually have been on a bit of a journey. I used to paint them a little like higher up on the arch, and when I was starting drag in New York City, everyone after they met me, they were like, "Oh wow, you're actually really nice. I thought you were a bitch at first." And I was like, "Why?" And it was just like, I don't know, just gotta look. And it didn't realize, and it was painting my eyebrows very bitchy.
You have
And-
bitchy eyebrows?
And I just lowered it a little bit, and all of a sudden I looked nicer.
Yeah.
So I guess-
it gets softer.
Yeah. So I was giving myself like the villain brow.
You gave me some bitchy eyebrows.
Love the lumber.
And you can't go too low because then you get the angry eyebrows.
Correct. It's a balancing act, and also depending on your face,
Yes.
you know, and your face angle. So that was one of the first things that I like learned.
Basically,
I was
it's
like, oh
false
wow.
advertising.
If I just
Yeah.
if I lower my eyebrows a little bit, I'll look a little more approachable.
Because eyebrows are face expression.
Yep.
Yeah, they really are.
Sometimes
Well,
it's good to not be approachable though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're a drag performer in a bar together, you
Yeah.
should at least be
Yeah.
somewhat
Somewhat.
approachable. But yes, I do agree with you there. You don't always have to be approachable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want someone to walk up to you and give you money.
Right.
So.
Right.
That's
and
different, yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say I am that person on the subway that's like reading a book and has headphones on, and someone will still come up and ask me for directions. So I was just like, maybe I do look too approachable.
I have the same problem.
No offense, you are adorable, so
Yeah.
there's that.
The eyebrows don't say that.
Not right now, they don't. And see, like, that could have easily taken me half an hour to just like
Yeah,
do an
that's
eyebrow, and
awesome.
just like. Sometimes you have to just tone them up a little bit, but other than that, it's my favorite thing about cheating. My eyebrows. All right. So, who can tell me what my next step would be?
Set it. You need to spray. Set it and spray.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You
you
got
got
a
lip.
liner, right?
there's one thing missing on my cheeks.
Blush.
Blush! Yes!
You like to look alive?
It depends on the day. So this is actually one of my favorite blush palettes by Chaotic Cosmetics. Our drag sister Ashley Jade puts this out. Can you tell which one I like? So I am going to go in with the purple one because I am doing a little bit of purple and a pink. So with blush, that's another thing, kind of like contour, you have to see where it looks good on your face. And so for me, I do the apple trick. You smile and you just dot and dot. And that's kind of where it is. And then you just kind of blend that out. And I know people sometimes go real hard with the blush, like some drag queens look like they contour with blush, which, hey, good for them. I'm here for it. I like having just a hint of color.
I'm just glad blush is like back in style because
Yeah.
for a while we were all just looking very dead. And
Yes, blushes was like a thing. I think, again, people saw like blushes like aged makeup, like
Yes.
people using too much blush.
Yeah.
And that can be a thing because blush can age you depending on the color and how much you use. However, it can also give you just that nice rosy glow. Another thing that I've learned as far as blush, like I love an orange blush.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
when
my
you put on
gosh,
foundation, like there's something about it, like you would not
And it's so
think
universal.
about it. Everybody
think
can
you
use an orange blush.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought? And it just adds a nice golden warmth to your face.
Yeah, for me, it gives me like that bronze, like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I stand an orange blush.
oh, absolutely.
All right. It's time for lips. So one of the other fun things that drag queens get to do is we get to choose how big we want our lips. For me, I usually kind of go along with my lip shape.